Welcome to today's Explainer. We are jumping straight into a massive question about human behavior today. Do rules and laws actually change who we are? Think about it. We interact with laws every single day of our lives. We stop at red lights, we pay our taxes, and we sign contracts. But do these written rules really shape our deep, everyday choices? Do they make us different people than we would be without them? It's a fascinating topic, and we're going to explore exactly how this works. Let's dive right in.
So I have a really fundamental question to kick things off. How do laws actually change us? When a government writes a rule down on a piece of paper, does it really change how you and I act in our daily lives? Because honestly, sometimes it feels like people are just going to do whatever they want to do anyway. So what is the actual real-world effect of putting a rule into official writing?
That is a great question. And the short answer is yes, they absolutely change us. You see, the main purpose of any law is to encourage people to act responsibly. Laws basically act like a shared guidebook for everyone living in a community. They give all of us clear boundaries. That way, we all know exactly what is expected of us and exactly how we should treat each other. Without this shared guidebook, cooperating would be incredibly difficult. Laws set the clear standard for what is acceptable behavior.
Right, that makes total sense. We definitely need a guidebook. But I guess I'm wondering, why do people actually choose to follow these laws? Is it just because humans naturally want to be good and do the right thing? Or is there something else pushing us to actually follow the guidebook?
Well, sometimes, sure, people just want to be good and helpful to others. But there is a much stronger, practical reason that applies to almost everyone. It comes down to one really powerful concept: penalty. A penalty is simply a punishment for breaking a rule. And the honest truth is, people follow rules mostly because they are afraid of that penalty. They don't want to lose their money, and they definitely don't want to lose their freedom. The fear of that punishment is a very, very strong motivator.
Just think about everyday traffic laws for a second. Things like speed limits or having to wear your seatbelt. Imagine you're driving down a busy street and you spot a speed limit sign. Why do you suddenly slow down? Most of the time, it's simply to avoid getting a speeding ticket. That ticket is a penalty. You'd have to pay a fine, which costs you your hard-earned money. So just the existence of the rule, combined with the fear of the penalty, essentially forces us to drive carefully.
This creates a really direct cause and effect in our daily lives. When we have clear rules and penalties firmly in place, the direct result is fewer road accidents. The threat of a penalty changes our behavior for the better. We drive slower, we buckle our seatbelts, we stop at the red lights, and because everyone is changing their behavior to avoid a penalty, enforcing these rules directly reduces accidents and protects everyone on the road.
Okay, I get that. That makes perfect sense for everyday rules like driving a car. But let's shift the focus to something a lot more serious. What about serious, dangerous crimes? Do laws actually stop bad people from doing truly dangerous things?
Yes, they absolutely do. And this brings us to our second core idea: laws maintain public safety. When strict rules are in place, they create a much more peaceful, secure environment for everyone in the community to just live their lives. This moves way beyond just organizing traffic. It's about actively protecting people's lives and their property from serious harm. Basically, strict laws actively discourage criminals from doing dangerous things. They reduce theft, they reduce violence, and they reduce fraud. People are much less likely to commit these terrible acts because they know the penalty will be very severe. Taking someone else's property or causing physical harm brings a much heavier penalty than a simple speeding ticket. The risk of spending years in prison stops a lot of crimes before they even happen. So, the crucial takeaway here is that strict laws lead directly to a stable and harmonious environment. When a country fairly punishes illegal activities, it results in a safer society for all of us. The laws basically create a strong barrier. On one side, you have the strict rules and the heavy consequences. And because of that barrier, on the other side, families can go about their daily lives without living in constant fear.
Okay, so I understand how laws stop bad physical actions and prevent crime. But I have a simple question about our internal emotions. Do laws actually change how we feel inside? Does living under a strict legal system change our mental state?
Absolutely they do. It creates what we call public confidence, and this simply means feeling safe and trusting the system around you. When everyday people know that bad actions have real, guaranteed consequences, they feel much safer just walking down the street. They feel comfortable letting their kids play outside in the park. The law doesn't just stop the bad guys. It directly increases our peace of mind and allows us to relax. It builds trust among neighbors.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense. The rules basically give us the freedom to feel secure. So, as we wrap up this discussion, what is the main takeaway? How can we easily summarize all of this to remember later?
Let's do a slow recap of the core arguments we discussed today. Ultimately, laws create three deeply important things. First, they create responsible behavior in our daily lives, like driving safely. Second, they create public safety by protecting us from serious harm and crime. And third, they create a stable society overall, where people have public confidence and trust in their community. By guiding our actions, laws build a much better, safer world for all of us.
And that brings us to the end of today's explainer. But I want to leave you with one final thought to consider as you go about your day. What would your world actually look like without any rules at all? Imagine driving, working, and living with absolutely no guidebook and no penalties. Take a moment to think about the true value of laws in your own life today. Thank you so much for learning with us.